Oh, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back into another edition of Jet Fuel here. I'm Mathias. Once again, missing Craig Flint and Brianna. I can't say their names this morning. Craig Flint and Brianna Malone. Yeah, who are those guys?
They've been gone for so long.
They haven't been here for a while. They're not important. I got other guests today. John Boland's back. He's just our sub-in every now and then. He's creative services man.
I'm our backup.
Yeah, he's the backup.
String.
But you're not a bad third string to have, man. You're the kind of third string that goes into the game and
I'm like
puts
Matt
up 303
from,
touchdowns.
Friday Night Lights, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And we also have a special guest in the middle here today. Why don't you introduce yourself, Bailey?
Hi, my name's Bailey. I'm interviewing to be a reporter here, so that's really exciting.
Okay,
This is our second interviewed person.
I will
we've had
say
on
this.
here.
Yeah, so it's a really interesting call for sure. But we had another person that came in at this point now, maybe a month or so ago. His name's Joseph. He came in also job shadowing. He was from Michigan, so he drove all the way out of town to come in. And I don't think we've talked about this on the podcast, but he did accept.
Yes,
the offer.
he has.
So
yeah.
He's
I don't
going to
think
be.
anybody knows yet.
He's
but
going to
here
be
you go.
starting in November. So we even said then when he did the podcast, we're like, this is Joseph. Maybe you'll see him again, maybe not. But
They better at least offer him the job, you know,
Yeah.
if we had him on the podcast. Yeah.
But yeah, no, Bailey's in the same boat right now. She is at Edinburgh, Penn West Edinburgh, that is.
Penn West,
Let's
yeah.
make sure you
Big
get that
change there.
right. So you've been there for a while now, and you're not just at Edinburgh. You've lived in Erie for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about kind of where you're from and what you've been doing at school too.
So I live in Summit, which is like the little area right between Waterford and Erie, straight middle ground there. And I commute to Edinburgh. I've been going there for, the past 3.5-ish years.
Yeah, she's almost done.
Almost done, and I get an early out, so I graduate this December
Nice.
instead of in May. So that's really exciting.
That is fun. That's really exciting.
Get to get out.
So it's about time we have one smart person on this podcast.
Exactly. It's getting a little dull with the three stooges that have been up here for weeks at a time at this point. But no, you switched to. Did you always go to school for journalism? Or you switched, right?
I switched. For the entirety of high school, I wanted to be a marine biologist. I was obsessed with the idea. I was like, I'm gonna move to Florida.
I think everybody was at one point.
I mean, you
Yeah, it's like
Character
guys got
development.
paleontologists, girls got marine biologists.
It's a
yeah.
really cool job.
It's a canon event. You can't
Yeah.
avoid it.
You can't not say, I want to go into marine biology someday.
And I almost went to St. Francis University, which is kind of like center state. And then very last minute, I was like, you know what? I'm going to save some money. I'm going to go to Edinburgh, stay local, commute. And then I tried for environmental biology for the first semester and was like, you know what? I think I know where my strengths lie.
And it's not here.
She's like, let me switch to the
says-
easiest major, communications.
Look, man, I have the same experience. I went into school and switched my major several times before, in the second half of college, saying communications and journalism, and so I get the move, and it's a totally valid thing to do. But she's as local gets, which is a good thing because she knows what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like you have to learn what roads you're going on or how to get around town. Deanna, who's from Philly, one of our newest reporters too, she's still learning the ropes, but you'll have a leg up if you decide to be around here.
When it comes to the one-ways,
They're still scary.
it gets a little tricky. Let me just say, it gets a little tricky there. Speaking of easy majors, there's a reason I have a 4.0.
Yo!
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to the 4.0.
Oh, yeah.
My common degree kind of brought my GPA back up to where it should have been in the first place. But
Yeah, I mean, I started as a music production major. I don't have any room to talk. Then I became a communications major. Then I dropped out, and here I am. So,
It worked out.
he's so happy.
yeah.
Aren't you so happy, John?
Dude, I'm so happy. I dropped out for Jet, actually. That's
Wow.
actually what happened, yeah.
Special
I
request.
was part-time here, and then they were like, hey, you want the full-time job? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Who needs college anyways, So
Yeah,
You already
definitely.
got a foot in the door.
Exactly, yeah. If I've already got the job, what's the point in finishing the degree? I'd rather just save money.
Exactly.
Or you can just get a 4.0 all 4 years, 3.5 years.
That's gonna go pretty far.
I
Yeah.
hear a lot of discussion about how college is so expensive and people go out of state and spend all this money and you're making the wrong choice. And I'm like, well, that's why I decided to stay local and save
Yeah.
all the money that I could.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That is what you're doing. It's cool too. I know you said you kind of have some roots in radio. I understand you have some classes you do with TV and some segments projects. One of them is a little popular. She does something called Burrow Eats.
It was a one-time segment there. It's a
But it was big.
Burrow Bites.
College life isn't always easy on the wallet, so ETV is on the hunt for the best bites in Borough under $10.
It's probably past 5,000 views at this point.
She's big time.
Whoa.
Making it big, guys.
Hey, that's more than this podcast gets.
Hey,
like
remember us when you make
3,000.
it, okay? Don't forget our names.
I just wanted to find some cheap places to eat in Edinburgh for college students, you know, and it worked out pretty well. But
Can you run through your list on like kind of what you settled on or what some of the places were?
the places that I decided to go towards, it was kind of like under $10. So Lakeside Bagel.
Yep, I've been there.
There was actually a comment saying that, like, you know, Edinburgh Market's a good place to go too. So if I end up doing another segment, I'll probably head over there. I went to Norman's Deli and then John's Wildwood too. So all of those
John's
ended
is
up.
elite.
Oh my
I
gosh!
love
yeah.
John Wildwood.
All of those you could get under $10. So
Wow.
it was-
Because I went to Barrand and they have like the kind of second edition of John's. I know the first one burned down at Edinburgh a while ago, but John's is elite. I will say forever that John's is
It's
the best
so good.
pizza
It's,
chain.
yeah, it really is one of the
Erie.
best pizzas in here by
it's
far.
very good.
What's your? I need to get your Flips opinion.
I love Flip. I was gonna go, but it was closed.
Oh, you mean
But
back
by
then?
the time
Yeah.
by the time I went over there, yeah.
You
But-
Flip. My eyes have been open to Flip. My girlfriend went to Edinburgh, so she is like she knows Edinburgh like the back of her hand.
yeah.
And the first time I went to Flip, she was so excited to take me there. I was like deathly ill, and I could hardly eat my food because I was so sick. And she didn't. She was like thought I hated it, and she was so traumatized because Flip meant so much to her. So we ended up going back eventually later, and it's so good. Man, their potatoes, so good.
Oh,
To
yeah.
die for.
Yeah, Flips is an awesome place.
So good.
So you also, and I was going to bring this up too, because there's no problem with it, but she has experience already in terms of getting out in the field and doing the dirty work. She's done an internship here with another television station.
You know, the guys across the.
to remain nameless.
the-
Yeah,
way.
across the way, down the road.
down the way. So she
Up the hill.
did an internship over the summer, and we were talking earlier, and you said, you know, it felt like I didn't have a summer, but at the same time, like
I did.
you did. Yeah. Talk about just your experiences and kind of.
Do you have a favorite story that you did?
Oh gosh.
Sorry to put you on the spot
There's
like
so
that.
many. Like I really think that all of I could not pick a favorite. You know, all of like the festivals and things that I got to go out on were all very good individual experiences, and then even like the bad ones I was talking about earlier. Those harder news stories were really valuable experiences to me because getting out there and getting that exposure to that kind of environment is, you know, just it's really valuable.
I think that's really impressive because I think when you go into it and you maybe aren't necessarily sure what to expect from, you know, journalism and news and like being out there, and then you go through like, let's say like the protests initially for some things that we've seen across town, and you come back with it with an even more positive attitude in terms of like, yeah, this is important. This is why I'm doing this. Like I feel like not a lot of people have that mindset going into it. I definitely didn't when I started. Like when I started. And the first like really bad accident I went to, or the first like, you know, shooting that, you know, those things happen. But I was like shaken up by it. Like it like impacted me, and not that it didn't have that same effect on you. You just take away some perspective from it.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really important thing to do. Yeah.
It was good. Good internship.
John, have you been out there in the field?
I mean, I've been out a little bit. I mean, not as much for news, but there's been a few instances where I've seen some things and I was like, hey, does anybody know about this at the news station? And they're like, know about what? And so then I get people down there.
John's our informant.
Yeah, I'm like I'm the inside guy.
Well, it's twice now.
Yeah,
Because
twice.
once you were, it was over 30,
It was 38th and Old
38th
French.
and Old French.
Yeah,
I
right by
remember
my old
that
place.
because I was down there. There was like street racing that was happening
Yeah.
on 38th that like caused a really bad crash.
Yeah, they got some guy was driving on Old French, and these two cars were racing down 38th, and one of them collided.
Yeah.
It was like engine block got shot like 500 yards down the road. It was horrible. But there was probably a good like 200 people standing around from the neighborhood, and I was like, guys, do we know about this? So we got Matt down there. We did a live shot, and then just recently
Yeah, we
when
did.
there was the gunman scare on upper or lower middle Peach, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun. I mean, there's been a few instances where I've like had to send in some pictures and stuff like that. Like there was a motorcycle fire I think it was a year and a half, 2 years ago. where I was actually just driving home from work as I saw it, and like they was still up in flames like 30 feet in the air. So I took some video and some pictures, sent it up to the news station. So
we all play a role.
Yeah, it really is. It was like I started here as a camera person, then went over to creatives, then I was doing commercials and the promotional work and that kind of stuff. But just like working behind the cameras for the nighttime news, it really opened me up to a possibility that I'd never even thought of. Like going into college, I was, like I said, a music production major. I was really into music, and then I kind of fell in love with video and the production side of everything.
Yep.
And I never even thought about like, hey, what about going into news? But it's an interesting field. It really is, and it's fun at times.
It's different every day.
It really is. Yeah, your job never gets old. That is 100% true.
Well, Bailey, we've been talking a lot about work, I guess. But what kind of stuff do you like to do? Because you're local, so you know like things to do, places to go. What are some of your hobbies or things you like to do when you're not grinding away at school with your 4.0?
A lot of people wouldn't expect this from me, but I like to go four-wheeling.
Yeah, there you go.
Very fun. My best friend of the entire time I've lived in Erie, the last 13 years, was my neighbor. He just got an apartment on his own, so that's pretty cool. But we would go out four-wheeling like every single day as kids, just across the street into the fields.
You ever flip a four-wheeler?
He did.
Oh,
yeah,
right in front
it's
of
fun.
me.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fun.
we've had a couple of instances where there were like some, crashes, I would say. The first one was like we were going downhill and it was slanted and we were getting caught on the roots, so we just kind of started falling down this way and we're getting off of the trail. So there was nothing we could have done. I was just like, we're just gonna have to jump. He's like, yeah, you jump and then I'll jump after. So I jumped off.
And he
then
tries to save it?
He tried to save it, but then he ended up having to jump, and we watched it roll down and then hit a barrel, and we were like, okay. So that.
I remember the first time I ever went four-wheeling. I took it a little too slow into this mud patch, so I started getting stuck. So I just hammered the throttle, flew right out of it, no problem, right into a tree.
Oh, one time he actually backed into a tree and smashed my finger in between the
Yeah,
tree
where you
and the
hold
foot.
the gate out, yeah.
And then another, that was my only like four-wheeler injury.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're lucky there's some wood there.
Yeah, right? But he was in front of me and he was like, let's go on these new trails through the woods that I found. And I was like, okay, sounds like a great idea. And of course, it's always the slanted areas.
Yeah,
that
it's
are
like an
itchy.
unknown terrain too. You haven't been on
Yeah.
a trail. It's kind of like you don't know what you're going into.
Yeah, so I watched him go up on this slanted area and then get caught on this like fallen tree, which pushed him up like this. And the more he tried to get out of it, the more he tilted. And it started to tip, so I yelled at him to jump, and he like had to crawl over it as it was tipping.
boy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just from that impact of falling, he ended up breaking his wrist.
Oh,
So that was kind of scary, but
Riding is a lot of fun though.
it's
It
a
is.
lot of
It
fun.
really
I grew up riding because I'm from, rural Crawford County, and we have a camp up in kind of central Pennsylvania that we used to go with a bunch of friends and people up there. So many awesome trails up in the central PA mountains.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
my memories of it are, and I don't think I ever told my dad about this one, so it was his four-wheeler. I'm sorry if you're hearing about this now, if he's watching this, but I was flying down this gravel road that goes towards our camp. There's nobody there. As you know, you don't really have the best traction on gravel. And I went off the road, probably going at least 40 miles an hour on a four-wheeler down this dirt road, and flying, and I was slowed down by like a bunch of kind of twig trees before then hitting an actual tree.
Oh my
But I didn't do any damage to the four-wheeler at all.
good.
And it scared me so much that I was like, okay, we're done being a
We're
done
just
being a little
gonna
daredevil.
It's
pedal
worth
on
the
home.
risk, though.
Yeah, it's a lot of
It
fun.
is, yeah,
fun.
it's fun.
I
It
also-
gets the adrenaline pumping. And as a Jeep owner now, like having a jacked up Jeep with off-road tires and everything, it's like
Off-roading's fun.
the grown-up version of four-wheeling.
I just
but
need to
it's
be
a
able
lot
to
harder.
afford the nice toys.
Yeah,
to go have fun and do
Yeah,
it.
no, it's a lot cheaper to fix a four-wheeler than it is my daily driver. But it's hard. Like I know a few, but there's not many trails that I can go down with
There's
a Jeep
not.
compared to like there's a million four-wheeler trails around
Have you
here.
heard Brianna, what she did with her Jeep?
No.
So when Brianna first moved to Erie, she has a massive Jeep, and she's from Atlanta, Georgia. So she's a city slicker, like she is.
Yeah,
through
she
and
has
through.
35s and off-road tires, but for some reason it's that
Never
it's a pavement
off-roaded.
princess.
Yeah, it's a pavement princess, exactly. But what she did when she moved here, like the very first couple weeks that she was here, she took her Jeep and drove it onto the beaches of Presque Isle. and they, like, park rangers came up to her and they're like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "What?" And they're like, "You cannot do that." Like, and she's like, "What do you mean? It's a beach. I thought you can't drive on beaches here." But apparently you
No,
could.
not Presque Isle.
Yeah,
I've
at
done
least
that at a
not
few
Presque Isle,
places,
yeah.
but definitely not Presque Isle. Like, you can't even fly drones because it's a state park. But if you're just got any other beach that's not, state owned or something, then you're fine.
Yeah.
But she's got to get used to that.
I had to out her there. She learned a lesson.
That's
And nothing happened from it, but it's just
Yeah.
really funny looking back at it. Anything else that you like to do besides kind of your off-road and stuff? You a movie junkie or music or?
Music, really. I am a big music person. So you guys will learn over time. I am a big Stevie Nicks girl. Huge Fleetwood Mac obsession. That's kind of the big thing that got me. It was kind of like a hand-in-hand kind of thing. Getting me into radio was all that classic rock and stuff
That's
like
pretty
that.
cool.
I was gonna ask what the genre is, but yeah, like I grew up as a Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses, Def
Yeah.
Leppard.
Oh,
My
yeah.
cat is named Zeppelin after Led Zeppelin. Like, yeah.
But yeah, Stevie Nicks, I went and saw her in Hershey last year, so that was really cool. I wish she was a little closer. Still trying to get my mom to let me go to Detroit, though. That's at the end of this month. So
You
we're
hear that,
running out of
Mom?
time.
Detroit, end of the month. She gets the
on.
job. That's you got to buy her tickets.
Exactly.
I feel like that's a fair
They're
trade.
really expensive, though. They're so expensive.
I've never been to a concert for that exact reason.
No, I remember it was like right before COVID hit. Motley Crue, Def Leppard, and Joan Jett and the Blackhearts were all supposed to go on tour together, I missed one. And Poison.
Oh
It
my
was supposed to be
gosh.
like an insane lineup. And so my buddy and I, we had just like getting ready to graduate high school. We were like, dude, let's go. And so we went and got tickets and COVID hit. And so we couldn't go to the concert. And then a few years later, they finally were like, hey, we're doing this again. And we're like, oh, great. And then the one weekend they were like in Pittsburgh or close enough to where we could go. We weren't able to make it. I
Oh
was
my
so bummed.
gosh. I
Yeah.
was going to go to Nickelback. That would have been my first concert before COVID hit.
Yep.
And then that ended up getting canceled.
Is this a
I didn't
Nickelback safe space?
It has to be, right?
I have no strong feelings for or against.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
You have to check sometimes.
Is this the look at this photograph?
Yeah.
That's Nickelback, right?
Yes,
that-
yes. You're on the right track.
That's
How You
that's all I
Remind Me,
know.
Animals. Yeah. I grew up on Nickelback, and it was kind of insane when I like reached late middle school, early high school, and then people are starting to slander him. And
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, he used to be like
We
a
don't welcome
legend.
He was
What
so
happened?
cool.
Yeah.
We don't welcome Nickelback slander.
No,
here.
no. And like ever since he had surgery, because he had nodes, I don't know if you know the story, Matt.
Nope.
No. So basically, do you know what nodes is? It's basically like a disease that you can get in your throat.
Okay.
Where like if you're like pushing your voice too hard, like you know how they sound, you got like the grungy voice. Well, if you're forcing it, you can end up hurting your vocal cords, and
That's
so you had to get
exactly what he
surgery
did.
on it. Yeah, and ever since then, everybody just started trashing him.
He was never the same.
Yeah.
Wow.
Never
I
the
still
same.
think he's great.
All right,
It's
this is
still
a safe place for Nickelback. I'll make sure Craig and Brianna know that.
And all the comments will get deleted if you guys slander Nickelback.
Drew Kolek is going to be monitoring this page, and if there's any hate, we will find you. All right, we'll stop bothering you there, Bailey. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no problem.
The first I'm going to do a couple national days of the day because we always talk about those weird, random days of the day that it is. So it is. So we usually shoot when we shoot these, and we break the fourth wall with this all the time. But we shoot these and they get posted the next day. So for us, it's Thursday. For whoever's watching this, it's Friday. So usually I go with the Fridays, days of the day. So it'll be for tomorrow for us. But it is, if you look at today, National Bosses Day, which Bender was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
So some people like their bosses, some people don't.
Get them a
I
gift.
feel like we got some pretty good bosses, so shout out to those guys. They're okay. Please don't fire me. And also, we have National Pasta Day.
Ooh.
You guys like some pasta?
Oh, absolutely.
What's your favorite pasta?
Man,
There's one right answer.
can I just say lasagna? Like that's pasta. That's pasta,
I mean, that's
right?
I didn't really count that as pasta, but I guess it's kind of pasta.
Oh, well then I'll say I'm an angel hair junkie. I love angel
See,
hair.
I was gonna say fettuccine alfredo. Some
Okay.
fettuccine or some chicken alfredo. One of the best dishes out there.
You know, sometimes I'll be craving Alfredo, and then I get it, and I'm like, Do I actually like Alfredo?
I prefer red
That's fair.
sauce. I'm a red sauce guy over.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
See, I'm very Italian, yet I also love red sauce. Like lasagna is one of my favorite meals, but when it comes, like once in a while, like you go to Olive Garden, you get that fettuccine Alfredo. It
And
is
it just
like,
hits
You
different.
gotta do it,
It
right.
does, yeah,
You gotta do it
yeah.
right.
And then they're just sitting there doing the Parmesan. They're like, say when?
Yeah, and
And
you
you're
just
just
go
like-
silent. Yeah.
Let's
Never
see how
say
long this
when.
goes. Yeah.
When's their arm gonna get tired?
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks for joining us, Bailey. We'll let you get going. And next time on Jet Fuel, hopefully I'll have some different friends. And not that these friends are bad friends, but that my other friends return. See you guys later.